Connecting to the universe.
From the top of Mount Wack.
Live with no pants.
Here's Zach DaWack.
Greetings, red-blooded, verified Earth people, and those with no check mark. It's me, the always dapper podcast babbler, your daddy Ocock blog from the radio, and the monkey on the mic. You're running that semi-professionally trained tongue of mine. I am Zachary Ernesto Wackalina III, otherwise known as Zach DaWack. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to those of you from Brady, Texas, to Princeton, Missouri, Williamson, West Virginia, to Superior, Montana, and all around the world. This is the often secluded, never diluted, always wacky, never tacky, hot rockin', flame-throwing DaWack in the morning show. Live from the low-rent, sleazy, and measly Ramen, Jammin', Nut Hut Studios at the DaWack Shack Broadcast Megaplex at Peachtree Industrial on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia, here in FEMA Region Number 4. Live out of Studio 3A today. Last time I checked, today is Friday, February 13th, 2026. This is show number 182. We got this day in history, this day in music, fun facts, the horrible scope, stupid news, and the celebrity birthday list.
Happy birthday to you. You belong in a zoo with the monkeys and tigers. They look just like you.
Cue the party air horns, confetti cannons, and somebody microwaving leftover cake in the break room. Here's that birthday list. Youngest son of Michael Jackson, Prince Jackson, turns 29 today. Can you believe it? Turning 47 is Mena Savari, from American Beauty, Hollywood to cult classic staple with serious staying power. Randy Moss turns 49, legendary NFL wide receiver who set the record for most touchdown receptions in a season, hauling in 23 of them in 2007 as a member of the New England Patriots. Born this day in 1974, that makes him 52. Robbie Williams, a UK pop star who sold millions of records and still has more swagger than me after 2 coffees. Days of Our Lives actor Galen Gehring turns 55. He plays Rafe Hernandez. Carolyn Lawrence turns 59. She provided the voice of Sandy Cheeks on SpongeBob SquarePants. She also voiced the character of Cindy Vortex in Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. Actor Neil McDonough turns 60. New York Mets broadcaster Howie Rose celebrates a birthday. He's 72. Peter Gabriel, born this day in 1950. That makes him 76. Genesis frontman, solo legend, and the only guy who can make art rock sound like it belongs in a museum. And your earbuds. Edward James Olmos turns 79. He's an actor from Stand and Deliver. Stalker Channing turns 82 today. Rizzo from Greece. Proof the cool never goes out of style. Leather jacket optional. And Kim Novak, born this day in 1933. She's turns 93 today. Classic Hollywood icon. Star power so bright it probably still requires sunglasses indoors. Also born on this day, Jerry Springer in 1944. He would have been 82 today. Talk show chaos coordinator. He turned yelling into daytime television gold. Final thoughts, spring security. George Siegel, born this day in 1934, an actor from Long Island, New York. He appeared in The Goldbergs in 2013. And Peter Tork, born this day in 1942. He, of course, was from the Monkees. That's your February 13th birthday crew. Rock gods, pop stars, Hollywood legends, hoop heroes, and one talking show ringmaster of chaos.
Happy birthday!
All right, time to dim the neon lights for a sec, but keep sarcasm plugged in. Passing away on this day, William Shockley. He passed in 1989. He's a co-inventor of the transistor. So basically, he helped create every gadget you yell at today. Without him, there's no smartphones and no autocorrect embarrassing you on text messages. Richard Wagner passed away in 1883 on this day, opera composer whose music is so dramatic even your group chat arguments sound calm by comparison. Janet Gaynor passed in 1984, an Oscar-winning Hollywood legend from the golden age of cinema. Back when movies were classy and popcorn didn't cost you rent money. And Frank Church passed on this day in 1984, a U.S. senator who made political waves long before cable news panels started yelling over each other. So on February 13th, we remember inventors, composers, jazz cats, film pioneers, and political heavyweights. A lineup proving history is packed with legends who left their mark long before hashtags existed.
Get your butt out of bed. Zach DaWack in the morning, here to start your day.
All right, moving on. Zach DaWack here with your completely necessary and most ridiculous list of holidays you didn't know you needed today. First up, it is Kiss Day. Today, it's all about puckering up. Whether it's romance, friendship, or kissing your dog on the forehead before work. Just remember consent and breath mints, please. This holiday brought to you by Minty Fresh Breath Spray, because love shouldn't smell like leftover garlic knots. Next up, it's Galentine's Day. Celebrate your besties, brunch crew, or anyone who helps you survive group chats. Waffles encouraged, drama discouraged. This holiday is powered by Bottomless Mimosa Studios, where every glass is half full and every story gets exaggerated. It's World Radio Day. That's right, it's our day. Radio legends unite. Turn up the volume, hug your microphone, and pretend the mute button doesn't exist. Supported by static-free headphones. Hear every note, every joke, and every time I spill coffee on the console. It's National Tortellini Day. Stuffed pasta rings of happiness. Eat enough and you'll start speaking fluent carb. This holiday presented by Nana's Suspiciously Large Portion Kitchen. One serving feeds a family of 12. Let's see, it's National Cheddar Day. Sharp, mild aged, like morning show hosts depending on caffeine levels. This one backed by Cheese's Crust Dairy, luring sandwiches into spiritual experiences since yesterday. It's National Crab Rangoon Day. Deep-fried joy packets filled with cream cheese magic. Take out diplomacy at its finest. Courtesy of Walk This Way Express, open late, judging you never. It's National Blame Someone Else Day. Finally, official permission to say that wasn't me. It was Dave. There's always a Dave. Sponsored by Plausible Deniability, LLC. Shifting responsibility since 1997. It's Get a Different Name Day. Let's try a new identity today. I'm going by Count Snackula until lunch. Supported by Name Tag Emporium, because reinvention starts with adhesive backing. It's Winter Bike to Work Day. Pedal through icy winds for health, glory, and frozen nostrils. Powered by Frostbite Fitness, turning cardio into character building. It's Desperation Day. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. If you're shopping today, good luck, soldier. Brought to you by Last Minute Roses and Regret Florist. Open until panic subsides. And it's No One Eats Alone Day. Invite someone to lunch, share fries, share laughs, share Wi-Fi passwords. Supported by Friendship Fries Cafe. Calories taste better together. There you have it, folks. Kissing, pasta, cheese, radio glory, identity crisis, and an emergency gift shopping. Just another calm, professional morning here on DaWack in the morning. All right. Zach DaWack here, cranking up the flux capacitor and firing up the history machine. Let's see what went down on this day, February 13th, through the years.
It happened on this day as if you cared.
In 1633, Galileo arrives in Rome for trial. The legendary astronomer gets summoned by the Inquisition for saying the Earth revolves around the sun. Basically, history's first recorded case of someone saying, "I told you so," and authorities replying, "Yeah, we're gonna need to stop that." In 1914, musicians finally get paid, in theory. ASCAP, the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, gets founded. Their mission, to help songwriters make money from their music, which means without this moment in history, your favorite artist might have been paid entirely in sandwiches and applause. ASCAP paved the way for royalties, so every time a song gets played on the radio, somebody somewhere gets coffee money. And that's beautiful. In 1945, the Dresden bombing in World War II begins, a major and tragic chapter of World War II. History unfolds as Allied bombing raids devastate the German city. A somber reminder that history isn't always punchlines. Sometimes it's reflection and respect. In 1948, the first television news magazine show premieres. NBC launches Camel Newsreel Theater, paving the way for modern broadcast journalism. Without it, no nightly news and eventually no morning hosts arguing about donuts. In 1974, Mary Wilson announces the Supremes' breakup. One of Motown's most iconic groups calls it a day. Millions of fans are heartbroken, and karaoke bars are forced to adjust accordingly. In 1980, IBM introduces the first modern floppy disk, 5 megabytes of storage. Wow! Back then, it was cutting edge. Today, that holds roughly 3 emails and half a cat photo. In 1984, the Soviet leadership musical chair begins. Following Yuri Andropov's death, Konstantin Chernenko steps in as the leader of the Soviet Communist Party, aka getting handed the keys to one of the most intense geopolitical jobs on Earth. He was one of the last old-school hardline leaders before Mikhail Gorbachev rolled in with reforms and fresh thinking in 1985. Basically history hitting the final boss level before the plot twist expansion pack dropped. And in 1998, the ski jump that defied physics and common sense. Australian ski racer Herman Maier launches himself into one of the most insane crashes in sports history. We're talking catapulted about 30 feet in the air, lands on his helmet, smashes through 2 safety fences going around 80 miles an hour. At this point, everyone watching assumed the next update would involve dramatic music and sad commentary. Nope. The man basically dusted himself off like, is my ski straight? And then because reality apparently runs on action movie logic, he came back days later and won 2 gold medals. That's not resilience, that's DLC level toughness. And in 2002, Canada beats the U.S. to take the gold medal in Salt Lake City, proving once again that ice, speed, and national pride make for excellent TV. That's your This Day in History, where we respect the past, but still make fun of floppy disks. All right, taking a look at some movies here releasing on this day in 1998. The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore releases. The Wedding Singer went so well, they paired up together in 50 First Dates in 2004. In 2009, it was the reboot of Friday the 13th film series and officially the 12th installment in the franchise. The story returns to Camp Crystal Lake, where unsuspecting young adults meet Jason Voorhees. 50 Shades of Grey releases this day in 2015. Also in 2015, Kingsman: The Secret Service releases. In 2025, Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy, a romantic comedy about a widow and single mother who is caught between a younger man and her son's science teacher. It's the 4th film in the Bridget Jones' Diary franchise. The film is set 24 years after the original movie. And then for, TV streaming, 2002 saw the release of Bel Air, American drama series, acting as a retelling of the classic 1990s sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. The series was developed for streaming television by Will Smith and Morgan Cooper. All right, music lovers, Zach DaWack here, spinning the vinyl of time to see what rocked, rolled, and rhythm and bluesed its way into history on February 13th. In
1960,
Frank Sinatra launched his own record label, Reprise Records, in order to allow more artistic freedom for his own recordings. Hence, he garnered the nickname the Chairman of the Board. One of the label's founding principles under Sinatra's leadership was that each artist would have full creative freedom and at some point complete ownership of their work. Reprise later became the home of many influential U.S. acts such as Neil Young, Jimi Hendrix, Joni Mitchell, Randy Newman, and the Beach Boys.
In 1967,
the Beatles released their double A-sided singles Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane on Capitol Records here in the U.S. The singles spent 10 weeks on the charts, peaking at number 1. The video for the track presented the Beatles' new group image, since all 4 now sported mustaches following Harrison's lead when he left for India in September of 1966. In addition to a horseshoe mustache, Lennon wore his round granny glasses for the first time as a member of the Beatles. Also, in 1967, the Monkees announced that from now on they would be playing on their own recordings instead of session musicians. Yes, that happened often. Session musicians. And now you know. In
1970.
Black Sabbath drops their debut album. On this day, heavy metal basically woke up, put on black eyeliner, and said, "Let's scare the neighbors." Black Sabbath releases their self-titled album, and boom, thunder, doom riffs, and headbanging are officially born.
Without this moment, there's no metal, no air guitar championships, and far fewer confused parents asking, "Why is he yelling?"
In
1971.
One Bad Apple hits number one. The Osmonds take over the top of the Billboard chart with their bubblegum smash.
Proof that pop music has always had the power to glue itself permanently into your brain, whether you invited it or not.
In
1974.
David Bowie turned down an offer from the Gay Liberation Group to compose the world's first gay national anthem.
That came 4 years later by the Village People with YMCA.
In 1975, label Politics shake up the charts. Record label Casablanca releases early disco-era hits that help set the stage for the dance floor explosion of the late 70s.
Translation, the path to mirror balls, platform shoes, and questionable fashion decisions has officially been paved.
In
1983.
Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing wins Grammy buzz. Around this time, the song dominates airwaves and awards chatter, cementing itself as one of the smoothest tracks ever recorded. Put this on the radio and suddenly everybody's voice gets quieter and cooler.
Even coffee tastes smoother.
In
1989.
This year's Brit Awards was hosted by Sam Fox and Mick Fleetwood, in which just about everything went wrong. Lines were fluffed and bands miscued onto the stage. Winners included Phil Collins, who won British Male Solo Artist. British Female Solo Artist was Annie Lennox. Erasure won Best British Group, and Best British Album went to Fairground Attraction for First of a Million Kisses. Michael Jackson won International Male. International Female went to Tracy Chapman, and U2 won Best International Group. This was the last year the show was broadcast live. In
1999.
The chart battles heat up. Late 90s pop era is in full swing. Boy bands, divas, and TRL countdowns ruling teen bedrooms everywhere. February radio waves filled with frosted tips, choreography, and CD collections thicker than phone books. In 2004, Led Zeppelin were awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award at that year's Grammys. Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and Jason Bonham all attended. Robert Plant did not, since he was working on a new album and tour. In 2005, readers of UK newspaper The Sun voted George Michael's Careless Whisper as the greatest British pop single of the past 25 years. Oasis came in second with Wonderwall, and Kate Bush third with Wuthering Heights. In 2012, Adele won all 6 categories she was nominated for at that year's Grammy Awards. The British singer won Song of the Year for Rolling in the Deep, and also received Grammys for the Best Pop Solo Performance for Someone Like You, Best Pop Vocal Album and Album of the Year for 21, and Record of the Year and Best Short Form Music Video for Rolling in the Deep. In 2013, Lady Gaga was forced to postpone her world tour after sustaining an injury which left her unable to walk. The singer had severe inflammation of the joints known as synovitis. And there you go, that's your This Day in Music. Police are investigating after thousands of dollars in puppets and props were stolen in the Hollywood Hills on Monday. They belong to the creator of a children's show.
Once the thieves notice the puppets constantly staring at them, they'll beg to return them.
Spring break will be here soon, and Miami Beach is not interested in being a spring break party destination anymore. Officials say there will be DUI checkpoints, curfews, and parking garages will be closed.
Miami Beach has now apparently been renamed Karen Beach.
The International Space Station's next crew will be the first to take their smartphones up with them.
Which astronaut will be the first to get a call about their extended warranty?
California Congressman Jared Huffman addressed the House in bare feet in honor of the late Grateful Dead co-founder Bob Weir, who always performed on stage in bare feet.
I mean, we should just be grateful that a well-known porn star had just died, right?
The Winter Olympics kicked off a week ago at Milan's San Siro Stadium with a spectacular ceremony topped off by the Parade of Nations athletes.
Some nations never change their game. Russian figure skating coaches still act shocked when the drug tests come back looking like a CVS receipt.
Bitcoin losses accelerated in the stock market as the cryptocurrency fell a total of 50% in the last 4 months.
Ah, how the mighty have fallen. The difference between a pigeon and a Bitcoin investor is a pigeon can still make a deposit on a brand new Mercedes.
Plenty of celebrities showed up in the Super Bowl ads. Sabrina Carpenter was featured in a commercial for Pringles potato chips.
It was a perfect match. I mean, she's the exact same height as a can of Pringles potato chips.
17 people, including the owners, were arrested for city code violations related to public nudity at a DD Cafe in Garden Grove, California coffee shop operating as a bikini cafe where employees served customers in bikinis in various states of undress.
Yeah, don't sit next to the guy asking for extra cream.
This week in 1863, the fire extinguisher was patented by Alanson Crane.
Yeah, it comes in handy these days for all the dumpster fires.
This week, back in 1933, the singing telegram was introduced by the Postal Telegraph Company of New York City.
Today there's no telegram. CI has replaced singing and the Postal Service is on its last leg.
A new study says menopause is tied to changes in brain structure, mental health, and sleep. It also found that postmenopausal women are more likely to report insomnia, reduced sleep, and higher levels of anxiety and depression.
In other words, they become Karens.
This week in 2001, singer-comedian Weird Al Yankovic was married to his girlfriend Suzanne Krajewski.
I challenge Weird Al to write a romantic song that includes the words Yankovic and Krajewski in the chorus.
This week in 2021, astronomers confirmed the planetoid named Far Far Out was the most distant orbiting our sun, almost 4 times farther away than Pluto.
Yeah, it's further out there than the viewers of Bravo.
As you probably heard by now, Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn crashed on skis at a high rate of speed into a gate at the women's downhill.
Now I'm trying to figure out if she gave Tiger driving lessons or if Tiger gave her skiing lessons.
You know, I just don't understand why anyone else is performing the Super Bowl halftime show when Shakira was still available.
Advertisers either want viewers to stay glued to their tube or they don't.
I mean, it was on, but I wasn't paying attention. I'm on my phone trying to find the Redfin $1 Million House. I mean, apparently there were high ratings.
Just because you're lazy and can't change the channel doesn't mean you were watching that shit show.
Well, a message to Billie Eilish: include Oklahoma on your next tour.
And you will learn that being conceived in the backseat of a Jeep does not make you part Cherokee.
The IOC is under intense media pressure to eliminate the men's biathlon skiing and rifle shooting competition in 2030
For being the least gay event at the Winter Olympics.
Britney Spears posted to Instagram saying she hasn't filmed one of her famous dancing videos in months, saying she has a broken toe. Spears ended her post on a light note, writing about how she made cheesecake and shared it with a neighbor.
Yeah, that would probably be a good time for her neighbor to think about hiring a food taster.
The Dallas Cowboys will compete in the NFL's first regular season game in Rio de Janeiro. The game will mark the Cowboys' first international matchup since 2014.
The team they will lose against is yet to be announced.
This week in 1994, Michael Jordan signed a contract to play baseball for the Chicago White Sox organization.
Well, he signed a contract. Whether he actually played baseball is a whole other matter.
The FDA has issued a recall for Chips Ahoy baked Brookie Bites. The recall was issued after an improper mixing process created cornstarch clumps.
The FDA says the Chips Ahoy baked Brookie Bites could be bad for you as they contain Chips Ahoy baked Brookie Bites.
Olympic ski jumper Marius Ludwig found guilty of injecting his penis with acid to enlarge it so he glides longer in the air.
Warning, if you have an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours, you may be in danger of winning the gold medal.
This week, back in 2015, Bob Dylan gave a speech at the Music Cares charity gala honoring his career. The 73-year-old asked why critics complained he can't sing and sounds like a frog, but do not say that about Tom Waits.
Wait, when did they stop saying that about Tom Waits?
I heard Woody Allen is linked to Epstein, but I don't know.
He doesn't seem like a guy that would cheat on his daughter.
Texas A&M announced that they're ending their gender studies degree program. A friend told me it reminded him of how he coasted through college in the 70s. He majored in gender studies.
But of course, back then there were only two.
All right, let's look at showbiz buzz. Hoda Kotb returned to the Today anchor desk on Monday to fill in for Savannah Guthrie as the search continues for Guthrie's mother, Nancy, who has been missing for almost 2 weeks now. Co-host Craig Melvin told viewers, "We know things are far from normal right now, so folks, we're asking for your grace as we continue to do this." Kotb said, "Paramount through all of this, Savannah and her family are our top priority. In addition to that, there is also a job to do." At the start of Today on Monday, Melvin said that Kotb will be with the show while Savannah remains with her family in Arizona. Well, the final trailer for Amazon MGM's Project Hail Mary, adapted from Andy Weir's best-selling 2021 novel, has been released. The film lands in theaters March 20th. The trailer, promoted by Ryan Gosling throwing a neon green football through the donut hole of the structure atop Randy's Donuts in Los Angeles, gives viewers a solid glimpse of an alien Rocky who encounters Gosling's character in space. Set to Prince's I Would Die For You, the clip shows man and alien species learning to communicate through a device Gosling's astronaut uses to decipher Rocky's language. Then he assigns him a voice and they form a close bond. Keep an eye out for that. Netflix's defamation case brought by journalist Rachel Deloche Williams over the limited series Inventing Anna has been dismissed after nearly 4 years. The former Vanity Fair staffer and friend of fraudster Anna Sorokin, self-dubbed Anna Delvey, sued the streamer in 2022, claiming the series deliberately depicted her as snobbish, disloyal, and dishonest. The suit alleged that as a result of her portrayal in the Netflix series, Williams was subjected to a torrent of online abuse, negative in-person interactions, and pejorative characterizations in podcasts, and said that she had received thousands of abusive messages. Rivaled by London, Prague, and Budapest when it comes to luring Hollywood shoots, France is getting ready to sharpen its competitive edge with a game-changing reform to its tax incentive for international productions. Under the reform, expenses such as salaries of non-European actors and hotel stays will qualify for the 30 to 40% rebate. The 4th season of The White Lotus, which begins filming soon in France, may miss out on the enhanced incentive by a hair. The hit show is a rare example of a production able to choose France for its creative reasons alone, regardless of its fiscal considerations. Greg Brown of Cake, a founding guitarist of the 90s alternative band and writer of their hit The Distance, has passed away following a brief illness, according to a band posting last week. No age was given, but he was in his mid-50s, nor did the band specify a cause of death. Bryan Adams has launched an acoustic series on YouTube. The latest release is a solo performance of Hey Baby from his most recent album, Roll With The Punches. Adams launched the Acoustic Fridays series on January 30th, kicking things off with a stripped-down version of another recent song, Love Is Stronger Than Hate. A long-lost Ozzy Osbourne rehearsal tape has resurfaced after spending more than 4 decades hidden away, offering a rare glimpse into a pivotal moment in his career shortly after his departure from Black Sabbath. The recording runs 12 minutes and features Osbourne rehearsing with his original solo band, including guitarist Randy Rhoads. Well, a high-quality behind-the-scenes film of the band Led Zeppelin on tour in 1972 has surfaced online. The newsreel footage was shot for a Dutch music TV show. The 4-minute clip shows Zeppelin arriving at the airport in Amsterdam for a show there and the band's opening number, Immigrant Song. Keep an eye out for that. Rascal Flatts returned to Nashville's Bridgestone Arena last week for the first time in a decade on the second leg of their Life is a Highway tour. To honor their achievements in a 26-year career, Big Machine label group founder Scott Borchetta presented them with a plaque to commemorate over 10 million album equivalents. Well, Charter Faith, the newcomer, has dropped her cover of Addison Rae's Fame is a Gun. She released her debut album, Cherry Valley, last fall and will open for Post Malone on his upcoming U.S. Big Ass Stadium tour, performing select dates with George Strait and Chris Stapleton. She's also been cast in the upcoming Netflix thriller Heartland alongside Jessica Chastain and John Hawkes. Toby Keith and Kenny Rogers will be recognized by the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City during the facility's 65th Annual Awards on April 11th. And the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville will induct 8 new members, among them Dolly Parton and Keith Urban. That ceremony takes place on April 28th. Well, so is this a good brain day for you? As you know, some days you power through your to-do list, and other days just answering a few emails seems like a Herculean task. A new University of Toronto study explains why. Researchers tracked 184 students for 12 weeks and found that being mentally sharp on a given day boosts productivity as much as working an extra 40 minutes. Daily cognitive sharpness was a better predictor of goal completion than mood, motivation, and personality traits like grit. Even highly disciplined people struggled on foggy days. The study shows success depends less on who you are and more on how your brain is functioning that particular day. Sleep was found to help. Long work weeks hurt, and surprisingly mild anxiety was found to sharpen focus, while excitement scatters it. Yet I cannot express to you how excited I feel about being at work today. It turns out my brain sometimes takes a sick day without telling me. Well, cold weather may make us crave warm, comforting foods, but letting meals burn can come with risks. Charring meats at high temperatures can create chemicals like PAHs and HCAs, while overbrowning starchy foods produces acrylamide, all of which are linked to cancer in lab studies. Evidence in humans is limited, but experts say frequent consumption should be avoided. Burnt foods also can irritate digestion and destroy nutrients. Aim for golden, not black, and cook low and slow when possible. Apparently, well done doesn't mean that well done. A new survey suggests the modern man is more appearance conscious than ever. A poll of 2,000 men aged 25 and older found 68% care more about how they look today than they did 5 years ago, with millennials and Gen Zs leading the shift. About 70% of men in the survey taken in the U.S. said they're open to outside help to slow aging, turning to skincare products, hair treatments, styling changes, and supplements. The average man now follows a 7-step grooming routine and spends more time and money on self-care. For many, the motivation is confidence, attractiveness, and making a stronger impression at work, but aging concerns like gray hair and wrinkles are also a factor. Maybe men are more appearance conscious than ever, but my informal survey conducted at Walmart over the weekend says otherwise. All right, here's some whack facts. Hot dogs take more than 20 years to break down in a landfill. There are no seagulls in Hawaii. In America, it is a federal crime to use your roommate or friend's Netflix account. You can't sneeze while sleeping. The word theist can mean one of two things: someone who believes in God or someone who is addicted to coffee or tea. Plus, I suppose, someone who believes in God and is addicted to coffee or tea. That comes from the Bathroom Readers Institute, the fact site. I bought some Valentine's cards for my wife because I couldn't just pick one. So I've been shuffling through them trying to figure out which one's best. The first one here, it says, "I want you to put the trash out." And there's one, "With just a couple exceptions, you're more beautiful than the day we met." Here's another one, "We've been through a lot together and most of it was your fault." And let's see. This one says, "You're my kind of weird, hon." I'm not sure about that one. This one says, Valentine, beauty is only a light switch away. Here's one of my favorites. "You put up with my crap, and I like that." Here's one that says, if you were a booger, I'd pick you first. Oh, I think this is the best one. I love you even though I fart on you in bed. I don't know. I'm still sorting through, trying to figure out which one I want to use. Well, here's some questions plaguing humanity. I'll just run through the list here. If love is blind, how can we believe in love at first sight? Do sore thumbs really stick out? Why do birds have white poop? If someone ever gets addicted to counseling, how can they be treated for it? Did Adam and Eve actually have belly buttons? What part of a monkey do you use a monkey wrench on? If you clean a vacuum cleaner, does it become the vacuum? If nothing is impossible, is it possible to do nothing? If you expect the unexpected, doesn't that make it expected? If your inner voice has a voice, whose voice is it? And the last one here on the list, if quizzes are quizzical, then what are tests?
Friday doesn't suck.
And now this.
Whether you're rich or parking cars, your fate is written in the stars. You don't want to look like a dope, so please listen close for your horoscope.
All right, it's time for the world famous DaWack in the Morning Horrible Scopes. If today is your birthday, you are an Aquarius. You'll celebrate love by doing something weird and original. Everyone else confused. You thriving.
A girl stole my heart.
Pisces, you'll daydream about romance, then fall asleep halfway through the movie. Dream date achieved.
All I'm missing is a sweetheart to share my love with.
Aries, you'll make bold romantic plans, then realize you forgot to actually invite someone. Pizza is your backup soulmate tonight.
A lot of people go with Cupid, but you gotta remember the bow and arrow melts first.
Taurus, you'll buy Valentine's candy for someone else and need it in the car before you get home. No regrets, only nougat.
Any man who says he totally understands women is a fool.
Gemini, you'll flirt with 3 people today and accidentally schedule 2 dinners at once. The stars recommend stretchy pants and good time management.
Don't you want a woman who's romantic?
No! Cancer Moonchild, you'll get sentimental and rewatch rom-coms. You'll cry, laugh, and order dessert. Emotional hydration is important.
I believe that you're capable of great change. Like when I finally got you to stop saying Valentine's Day.
Leo, you'll post a cute selfie captioned, "Just me tonight." Translation, waiting for the compliments to roll in like pizza deliveries.
Happy almost Valentine's Day.
Virgo, you'll overanalyze a text that says K. Relax. It's not Morse code. Probably.
I like to make love.
Libra, you'll spend hours picking the perfect outfit, then stay home anyway. Fashion show for the cat.
There is a disturbing trend, and it has to do with Valentine's Day.
Scorpio, someone will ask you about your love life. You'll answer mysteriously and give nothing away. CIA recruitment pending.
Welcome to the Smoochy Poo I Love You Hour. No laughs, just hugs and cuddles.
Sagittarius, you'll suggest an adventurous date idea involving something slightly dangerous. Cupid says maybe start with tacos.
Wow, who knew being in a committed heterosexual relationship could make a guy so gay?
And finally, Capricorn, you'll treat Valentine's planning like it's a business merger. ROI on chocolates must be justified.
No hug for me?
Well, whether you're coupled up, single, or dating your couch, remember Valentine's Eve is about expectations and discounted candy tomorrow. And those are your world famous DaWack in the Morning Horrible Scopes. Remember,
don't leave home without them.
And there you go. That's another show for you. You've been listening to the Always First, Never Last podcast with me, your doomsday host, the incredible, edible Mr. Zach Wackolina. Be sure to connect with me at ZachDawack.com. That's ZACKDAWACK.com, or call 984-DaWack1. That's 984-329-2251. Like the show, follow me, or subscribe, and please share this show with your friends. Thank you to all the awesome wackos, weirdos, reverts, preverts, dingbats, and jelloheads anonymous for listening. It means a lot. I'm out of here like Vladimir. Until next time, and there will be a next time. Don't forget me. I won't forget you. I am Zach DaWack saying if I'm lying, I'm dying. Grits ain't groceries, eggs ain't poultry, and Mona Lisa was a man. I'll be back Monday with a brand new show for you. We'll talk to you then. Same whack time, same whack channel. Whack out.
Bye, buckaroos.